FS1. Let's head over check in with Doug Gottlieb today. Hey, Doug, what's on the show?
Well, we got a herd hierarchy in regards to the NBA. In addition, we'll start with Dak Prescott. We all know he's going to get some sort of new contract from the Cowboys, but what's his actual worth? We'll lay it out for you top of the hour.
All right, Lou Williams is usually praised for his scoring off the bench, but it's his defense that's coming under fire. And according to The Athletic, it's a problem the Lakers exploited, as well other teams. And the Clippers should bench Williams over the final minutes of important games unless he's, quote, conscious offensively. So, Shannon, is this a big deal or no big deal?
No, Lou Williams is a specialist. It's skipping with any specialist. If they're not doing what their specialty is, it causes a problem. Lou has always been a defensive liability, but he's such an asset on the offensive end that you're willing to live with that. Okay, he wasn't making shots, but you're not putting that guy on the bench in the closing minutes because you need him to make shots. He just didn't make shots. It happens. But to say now all of a sudden because they lost one game and they lost to the Lakers, you're going to put Lou Williams on the bench in the final minutes of a ball game. That's absurd.
I wanted to see Patrick Beverley on the floor, maybe even guarding LeBron occasionally down the stretch.
But, Skip, he is a specialist.
Yep.
He became unplayable because he couldn't stop Avery Bradley.
Okay.
So you see? So what are you going to do?
So obviously, Lou Williams is averaging 19 and 6 assists. That's high, 6 assists. So he's got to score and score in bunches to offset the liability that he always has been on defense.
And
but usually you just blank it out because you don't care because he's doing that. He made that shot.
Yeah, that's the same guy. Remember last year, the defensive liability that dropped 50 on, I think he dropped 50 on the Clippers.
He did.
Not the Clippers, but the Golden State.
Golden State, yeah.
He's the same guy.
And he's also the same guy who disappeared a couple of times down the stretch against Golden State in games at home. I thought they had a chance to win. And it was on him because he just came up empty. Well, he can go cold. And he's had a 3-game slump that's kind of scary, actually.
Worrisome.
He's 25% from 3 over the last 2
I'm not worried about Lou Will, and I'm not benching him in a close ball game because he's an asset. He's more of an asset, trust me, on the offensive end than he is a liability on the defensive end.
That means you're going to be worried about him for the right reason, which is the Lakers should be worried about him.
There it is. Got to get one more in before the end of the show. That is it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern. And right now, caught our attention. He said that Doc Rivers and Jerry West were actually relieved that the Clippers lost to the Lakers on Sunday and therefore don't have a chance to sweep the season series. We're joined now by Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard, but I do have to start with Skip here. Make your case.
Okay, I do believe that the great Jerry West, who has been the architect of this Clippers team, just the way he's been architect in Golden State and with the Lakers formerly, I believe he and Doc sat back on Sunday night and sighed with relief, thinking, gee, if there ever was such a thing as a good loss, that was a good loss for us. Because let's do the hypothetical. Let's say they had won a 3rd straight game against the Lakers, and let's say, for the sake of argument, that final regular season game, which is near the end of the regular season, let's say the stars rest in that game on both sides, and let's say the Clippers somehow won that one, and they go 4-0 into the playoffs, and they meet the Lakers. All of a sudden, you're 4-0 against a team. Let's say you lose game 1 of a playoff series. You're like, uh-oh, what just hit us between the eyes? Maybe they're just different in the playoffs. And in this case, the Clippers needed what happened to them because it wasn't a blowout loss. In fact, Doc said after the game, I couldn't believe we even had a shot given how we played because they came out flat. They came out lifeless. The Lakers played much harder, especially LeBron. He's diving for loose balls down the stretch. And with no emotion and no edge, Kawhi Leonard had a 3-point shot with 3:06 left. And if he makes it, it cuts the lead to 4. Well, then you got a game over the last 3 minutes. He missed it. So LeBron took over late, and they pulled away and won fairly handily, but it didn't feel like a wipeout. It just felt like an embarrassment for the quote-unquote home team, who were the Clippers. I think they did get embarrassed. I think they got refocused by this. And I think in the end, Doc especially will sit back and say, you know what? Kawhi held his own with LeBron. LeBron was great, but Kawhi wasn't bad either. So let's just go forward. We're ready for the postseason now because the last game probably won't matter that much to either team. So it's still 2 games to 1. And if there's ever such a thing as a good loss, this was one.
Yeah, the last game won't matter, obviously. I mean, that's a triple back-to-back for the Lakers, so who knows who's going to play for them. And it's a back-to-back for the Clippers, so I would assume Kawhi and maybe some others.
They each have a couple of games left after that, but I don't think it'll matter.
So that fourth game will be irrelevant. I certainly don't think they went into this game thinking this might be a good one to lose.
No, definitely not.
Because I thought that was your point.
No.
You know, Jerry West and Doc Rivers are two of the most passionate and competitive guys in the league. I mean, the stories of Jerry West hating losing and being so anxious about it are legendary. He couldn't even watch a lot of Lakers games when he was an executive for them. He'd have to leave the arena. So he hates losing, and when Doc had the big three in Boston, Garnett, Pierce, Ray Allen, he didn't take any attitude of it's good for us to lose some games in the regular season. They went 66-16, started 29-3. So they wanted to step on the Lakers' throat. They wanted to go up 3-0 on them, and then they could have lost the last game. Nobody would have cared about that. But they wanted the Lakers to go into their series in the playoffs, assuming they meet, thinking we really can't beat these guys. And they were surprised. I know this. The Clippers were surprised by the Lakers' toughness because they felt, and I felt, and I think a lot of people felt, the Clippers were tougher. Like, we hadn't seen AD muscle up and, you know, take on the challenge with Patrick Beverly, with Montrezl Harrell, with Kawhi. Like, they had just, the Lakers looked a lot softer in the first two games. And I think the Clippers thought the Lakers were soft and we're going to bully them again and then get that mental edge for the playoffs. But obviously it didn't happen, and I think they were surprised. Now, once you lose, to your point, you do try to do what? Turn a negative into a positive. Right. And I do think they can look at this, like you said, and say, number one, all the points you made about, yeah, this could be good, but they were 10-0 when healthy. Now Doc can say, you know, instead of guys maybe getting cocky or thinking we own the Lakers, now he can always point back, look, if we don't bring our A game, you know what can happen.
But that's what they could always trot out. Because the first game, Paul George wasn't there, and they could never get this lineup together. What they could always hang their hat on, nobody had beaten this lineup. Not only did the Lakers beat you, they beat you in your building.
Okay, it was only 10 games. It wasn't like 100 games.
Well, it's not my fault that Paul George and Kawhi can't stay healthy, and they can't get on the court for more than 10 games.
Right.
But anyway, Skip Bayless, look, because see, here's the thing. Now, everybody was telling me the Clippers are just a better team than the Lakers. From top to bottom.
They still are.
I can't tell you.
I said that yesterday.
I can't tell you.
I told you.
Because guess what, Skip? Guess what the narrative is going to be if they had won all these games? Can the Lakers actually beat the Clippers?
Oh, yeah.
That was going to be the narrative. And Skip Bayless was going to try it out here. They can't beat them. They had 3 cracks at them. Now, Doc was saying, I'm surprised we were in the game. Were you surprised you was in the Christmas Day game? You're down by 15. So what surprised you about that when it didn't surprise you about this?
Day, the Lakers were up 7 with 6.5 minutes.
Yeah! And consider how bad you played, but you didn't think that because, see, Doc tried to be all pop. Well, consider how bad we played. What the Lakers had to
I don't think they played poorly.
They didn't.
Like, I don't buy that from Doc.
They didn't.
Because it was a nip-and-tuck game. It was a nip-and-tuck game.
They just looked flat to me all day.
No,
the Lakers wanted that game way more than the Clippers did.
Lou was off, but Lou can be off.
Yes.
Marcus Morris was off.
0 for 9.
He's shooting 37% since he's joined the Clippers. He's shooting too much, too.
0 for 9.
Because those are shots that Kawhi should be getting.
Well, the
and Paul George should be getting.
Skip, is that he thinks they need his 20 points like he was giving the Knicks. So he's coming in with that mindset. He's a piece, but he thinks he's the piece.
Right.
So I keep on shooting, bro. Because I told you we got the best one. We got O'Keefe. He understands his role. He plays his role really well. Boom, boom, boom. That looks good for us. But I kept telling you, that guy, that 2-3.
Where would 2-3 have been without Avery Bradley on Sunday? Seriously, where would he have been? Avery Bradley on Christmas Day scored 2 points and made 0 3-point shots. It's just a complete...
And they still had a chance to win.
It's a complete aberration. He makes 6 threes. He makes 4 threes just in the third quarter alone while LeBron was watching.
Chris, you know what I never hear? Chris, I never hear this. When Kawhi and Paul George struggle and Sweet Lou and Trez go off, nobody says anything about about Sweet Lou and Trez. Now, LeBron, The third guy, we not get a third scorer. Everybody say he's saying LeBron. LeBron was done without him. Y'all don't say that about Sweet Lou about to win Sixth Man of the Year again.
Avery Bradley going to make 6 in a playoff game against the Clippers?
He might.
You really believe
Well,
that?
that third guy for the Lakers is going to be rotation.
Right.
One night it might be Danny Green. You know that well. One night it might be Avery Bradley. One night it might be Kuzma. It could be KCP. That's how their third guy is going to have to
You
be.
know how many nights I've sat watching Danny Green in a playoff game saying, "What are you doing?"
You know, before
I do remember those finals, though.
But you do remember he had the most threes in the NBA Finals until Steph
Yeah,
Curry
and then
broke
what
it.
happened? Ray Allen happened.
Oh,
So it didn't work.
yeah,
right?
stop that, Skip.
All I know is Jerry West and Doc said Sunday night, Avery Bradley made 6 threes and we still had a chance. That's what they were saying, and it's okay because they needed this team to get refocused. They don't want to go whatever